Laos, a small Southeast Asian nation, bears a heavy burden. It holds the somber title of being the most bombed country per capita in history. While the world remembers the devastation of World War II, the suffering of Laos remains largely unknown. During the Vietnam War, Laos became entangled in a conflict not its own. The United States, seeking to disrupt enemy supply lines, unleashed a relentless bombing campaign upon this small nation. The bombings left an indelible mark on Laos. The physical scars are visible. Cratered landscapes, shattered infrastructure, and the constant threat of unexploded ordnance. But the unseen wounds run deeper. The psychological trauma, the shattered lives, and the economic stagnation continue to haunt the Lao people. This is the story of Laos, a nation struggling to heal from a war it never wanted. The tragedy of Laos is inextricably linked to the Vietnam War. As the conflict escalated, North Vietnam sought to move supplies and troops through Laos via the Ho Chi Minh Trail. This network of paths and roads, winding through the dense jungles of Laos, became a strategic target for the United States. To cut off this vital lifeline, the US embarked on a secret bombing campaign, codenamed Operation Barrel Roll. From 1964 to 1973, American aircraft dropped over 2 million tons of bombs on Laos, more than all the bombs dropped during World War II. The stated objective was to disrupt the Ho Chi Minh Trail, but the consequences were far-reaching. The bombings devastated villages, displaced countless civilians, and poisoned the land with unexploded ordnance. Laos became a casualty of a war fought on its soil but not of its making. The intensity of the bombing campaign was relentless. For 9 long years, American B-52 bombers turned the skies of Laos into a canvas of fire and destruction. Every 8 minutes on average, a plane load of bombs rained down on the Lao countryside. The roar of aircraft engines became a terrifying soundtrack to daily life. Villages were reduced to rubble, rice paddies transformed into bomb craters, and families torn apart. Among the most insidious weapons deployed were cluster bombs. These munitions, designed to disperse bomblets over a wide area, left behind a deadly legacy. An estimated 80 million unexploded bomblets remain scattered across Laos, posing a constant threat to civilians. Every day, farmers tilling their fields, children playing in the woods, and families simply trying to rebuild their lives face the risk of triggering these silent killers. The war may be over, but for Laos, the nightmare continues. Unexploded ordnance, or UXO, contaminates vast swathes of land, hindering development and claiming lives. Farmers are afraid to cultivate their fields, children are kept out of school, and the economy stagnates under the shadow of these hidden killers. Every explosion, every life lost, is a painful reminder of a war that ended decades ago. The international community, while providing some assistance, has largely failed to address the scale of the problem. UXO clearance is a slow and dangerous process requiring specialized expertise and significant resources. The Lao government, struggling with poverty and underdevelopment, lacks the capacity to tackle this challenge alone. The world must not forget Laos. Justice demands that the international community steps up its efforts to help this nation heal and rebuild.